I've seen some arguments on the equitable side of distribution of income for stake pool operators, and it's in stake pool operators chats. And there's like a mind state that because one person is from one geographic region in the world, that that person should set the standard for how much stake pool operators should make. So because this amount of money that operators are making in this market, they should be happy with it, because in another market it represents wealth, which is the wrong way of looking at things. What's the completely wrong way of looking at things. Just because I live in the United States and my standard of living is higher than another country, or my bills are higher than another country, doesn't mean that I have to accept the minimum standard for that particular country. I can't control the area that I grew up in or that I'm living in currently. I just have to adapt. I mean, if you look at Cardano, the ICO wasn't equitable. You can argue that there was a geographic distribution. If you lived in Japan, you had the opportunity to buy ADA at a lot less than when it hit the markets in 2017. At the end of the day, there are some of you, maybe a lot of you in this chat, the amount of money that you spend on ADA in USD, if you had that ICO price, you'd probably be sitting in the top 1,000 rich list. It's just what it is. So it wasn't an equitable distribution of ADA. It was a fair distribution of ADA, but equitable would mean that everyone would have the same opportunity.
And it was legal. It was done right.
Yes, definitely.
It was legal. It was done right. Was it fair to me? No, I don't care. Because here's my chance to get in on it. I took my chance. I saw the opportunity. I took the shot.
Of course.
Would I like to have 0.2 cent ADA? Sure. Did I get in at 8 cents? Yep. Would I do it again? Yep.
Of course. And there could be people that have obligations that don't allow them to invest a lot, or they could be young and they could have no money whatsoever. There's a lot of different scenarios. It's never going to be completely fair. So why would we move into a system where it's trying to make things as fair, as equitable as possible, when the genesis wasn't as equitable as possible?
Yeah. Charles brings up a good point. He says they also took a huge risk. They did. They took the biggest risk. Definitely. They risked everything. My risk was moderately high. Their risk was extremely high. People getting in now, their risk is medium high. It's lightly high. But now it's known. Like, Shelley's out. Shelley is brute force. It's out there, decentralized. It works. It freaking works.
Yeah.
What's the risk now? It's something less. Crypto is always high risk, but the risk is mitigated. It's lower than it was. So the ICO participants, God bless them. Thank you for doing that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have what I got today. Got to be grateful.
Yeah, definitely.
So people who are in disadvantaged countries, they'll still do fine. Philippe, that's a good segue into one of the next points that we were going to bring up during this podcast. And that is the native assets. So let's say ADA right now is 13.6 cents. Can you run an entire country's economy on 13.6 ADA right now? The answer is no, because if you tried to buy enough ADA to run a country's economy, you're going to drive the price through the roof. It will drive it through. So can you run, now you're going to be buying dollar ADA. You might be able to get 5 million, 10 million ADA at $1 at that point. By the time you bought up everything that's currently on the market, it's going to drive the price through the roof. That's what's happening right now. That's why we got green candles. But this is a speculative question. And let me know in the chat what you think. Can the country of Ethiopia launch a native asset on Cardano and they don't have to pay 13.6 cents? Can they launch a native asset on Cardano and run an entire country's financial operating system on this new asset that they create? Is that possible? That's a question. I don't know, but I think it's possible. I think it can happen. Why else would you create native assets that are treated as first-class citizens just like ADA? You know what I mean? You could. You could take any, and they could say, you know what? This is now the, pick any country. This is the Maldives or anywhere that needs a financial operating system. Deploy a native asset on Cardano and use that as their country's currency. Why not? I don't see any technological reason why they can't. I don't need to know how the code works. I need to know how the people work and how they interact with the code and the wallets. And they could pull up a Daedalus or they could pull up a Yoroi and they can use their native asset. They can put up Yoroi Mobile on their phone and interact with that currency. No reason why they can't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm probably not.
Good point.
They don't have to buy all the ADA. I'll take care of that. No, I'm just kidding. I'll try my best. But
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see.
I think they did it. That was one of my chief complaints with the Ethereum ERC20 was chasing around all the ERC20s with the Ethereum. Now, you'll have tokens on Cardano that do that, but if it's easy, if it's an easy user experience, you're fine. You'll be fine. As long as it's easy.
Yeah.
Yep, but it's got to be easy. Right now, you can't have 8,000 assets and you don't even know what they are. You go, what does this thing do? I don't even know what it does. Right? Why would I mess with it? But
if Goguen comes out as expected, if Goguen is a beast as expected, Charles says he's going to be a beast, and we're going to like the updates later this year. It should be possible. It should be possible.
Yep. So, look at Shelley. Secure, immutable. It's the same security properties as Bitcoin, immutable. The stake is continuing to distribute. The protocol is doing what it's supposed to do.
It's true.
What happened if you would attack the Cardano network? Okay, good luck with that. Good luck. You might be able to hit a couple of nodes. You might be able to make a little it's not going to stop. You're not going to stop it. If you thought the Rust Jormungandr was a beast, the freaking Shelley code that's out there now.
Oh yeah, it's orders of magnitude better.
It is. 1,300 stake pools spread across planet Earth.
For sure.
Running on all these different platforms. It's running on hardware. It's running on cloud. It's running on hosted hardware. It's running on Rock Pies. You're going to stop it.
Yeah.
Unstoppable. It's immutable.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And that's just Shelley. And there's still some work being done on Shelley, but there's a lot of work being done on Goguen. And I think it's being done right. That's why we got into Cardano in the first place, because we knew Plutus Fest, December 2018.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's coming to life.
Yeah. Yep.
We nailed it.
The scientific method wins in the end. So
absolutely,
we've been going that route, and it's going to take us far.